What's going on, guys? You know, one problem a lot of people have today, especially in the world as a whole, is people don't give it their all anymore. People don't give 100%. And you could tell those who do, those successful people who've made their rags to riches story, the ones who went from nothing to something per se. Now, a lot of people, when they don't want to be involved with a situation, they basically disconnect themselves. Instead of giving it 100%, they give it 30. And because they don't want to give it their all, and they're just basically annoyed with being somewhere, it's going to make them miserable and it's going to make them bitter. And it's like they won't know how to just kind of give it their all when it even matters at that point, because they're going to basically only do what it takes to get the job done. And you know, maybe I'm an overachiever, but I've always given my all in everything I've done, whether it be my music, whether it be these videos, whether it be sports. And whether or not that 100% can match up to someone else's 100%, that's a whole nother story. But just knowing I gave it my all is enough satisfaction. And the other thing is, people have to be able to accept failure. What you can't do today, when you're 100% today, in a year's time, if you guys keep pushing and trying your best, that 100% today can be your 10% next year. You can only get better. As long as you keep giving it your all, the opportunities are endless, really, for what it's worth. Just think about it. When you're, say, in the gym, at first, if you can't lift 20 pounds, or maybe you could do only 5 curls with the 20 pounds, the next day you're going to be really, really sore, and you're really going to want to quit at that point, just because people get in their head that this isn't for me. I can't do this. But if you keep pushing, and you keep telling yourself, you can do this, next thing you know, you're going to be doing reps at 10. Next thing you know, you're going to be up in the weight to 30. And even at 30, if you can only do 5 there, if you keep going at it, you can reach that 10. And basically, the opportunities are endless. Pretty much, it's like what I was told one time: whether you can or you can't, no matter what you tell yourself, you're right. Because if you say you can't do something, you're limiting yourself. And you're going to accept that as fact when it's not fact. But then if you tell yourself you can do something, you're basically opening your mind. You're telling yourself you can get somewhere. And that's the difference between those two types of people. There's people who just accept it, that they can't do something, and they won't give it their all or even attempt to, because they think it's just going to end in failure. And they're not really willing to work to get to be at the top, to be the best. And then you got those same people who they'll give it their all because maybe for so many years they were told they couldn't do something. And you know, maybe it's been eaten at them because everyone else wants to accept that fact for them, but they won't accept it for themselves. So they're going to be the people that they're going to strive. And even if they have to start with that 100% being all at the bottom, that average is going to rise as to what they can do. And pretty much, life is going to be a struggle at first. But then when you reach that mountaintop, when you reach that peak, you can look at yourself and think, they thought I couldn't do it, but I could. And then you're going to have those people, again, looking back, the people who only gave it 30% because they thought they couldn't do it. They're going to be the people that are going to be jealous of that person at the mountaintop. And that's why it's important to always give 100%, because as long as you keep pushing yourself, as long as you learn to accept failure and learn how to grow from it, you'll be able to get there. Those people who only gave that 30%, they're going to be bitter, are the people who gave it the 100%. And all in all, it's always just going to keep them down. And misery loves company, so those bitter people are going to continue to be bitter. And then they're going to drag more people who are going to continue to be bitter at the people who achieve their goals. And those are going to be the people who you're going to say that everything was handed to them. And you know, some people who are at the top, everything has been handed to them. But you know, the people at the top who have had to work to get where they are because they refuse to quit, those are the people that are successful, but they're also humble at the same time. Because they knew what it was like to be at the bottom. And they got to the top. Guys, that's why I'm saying it's always important to give 100% no matter what. Because whether you can or you can't, right now, you'll be able to get there eventually. As long as you don't give up. As long as you don't quit. And that's what really matters. Thank you, guys.